Hello and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. You're watching Daily Dive. It is Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. I am your host, Michael Carvelis in Guyton, Georgia. Producer Joe is behind the scenes in Banditland, New York. We are live on 12 on Sports via YouTube and X. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for other great shows and live sports. On today's awesome show, we're going to get into Mike Overreacts to Jake Naso beating Jake Withers in the face-off. Is he better than Jake Withers already? Oh, wow. That's going to be interesting. We're going to talk to Cooper Perkins, the play-by-play voice of the San Diego Seals. And then, of course, we'll get into a pretty stacked weekend of fresh fits as 9 teams decided they were going to participate this week of the 14 that played. So we cannot wait to break down the best of the fittest of the freshest players. We want to first let you know this show is brought to you by tickets.12ouncesports.com. That's tickets.numbers12lettersozsports.com. Get your National Lacrosse League tickets today for less by going to that website. That website also features every sport and all your favorite artist concerts, not to mention Broadway and theater. Tickets.12ouncesports.com. Alrighty, let's get into this. I'm going to overreact to Jake Naso dominating Jake Withers at the face-off dots. You know, again, the premise of this segment, Mike Overreacts, is not me being angry, as the graphic suggests, not even me saying anything that's maybe true, but I'm just overreacting to something wild that happened over the weekend, and I think it needs to be talked about. So, the Saskatchewan Rush, in the middle of their 9-8 overtime win against the Halifax Thunderbirds, Jake Naso outdueled Jake Withers 12 for 21 at the face-off dots. So here's the interesting thing about this game. It makes you wonder, did a rookie just prove that he's better than Jake Withers? And if folks know, I love face-offs. I think most of them matter. I think the ones late in games definitely do matter. The ones in the midst of runs matter. But I think like 80% of them matter, in my opinion, if that makes sense to you. And I'm not saying that Jake Naso is a better player than Jake Withers right now. I don't think Jake Naso would admit that. I think Jake Withers might kill me if I said that. And I think Jake Naso is obviously still a rookie. But at the face-off dots, is he better? It is obviously he outdueled him. And as we know, every single year, Jake Withers dominates the face-off percentage. Like, he is the only player that consistently does what he does in terms of face-off percentage. In addition to El Capitan picks there, El Capitan, not train, El Capitan picks there, I'm going to say this about, not only was it Jake Withers' first game of the season, and he might have been rusty because he came back a game sooner than he thought he would have been out with a suspended thing. There was a tweet from Cody Jansen that I think actually works in the favor of Jake Withers. Cody Jansen was saying there were like 4 times, I believe, in his career that Jake Withers has been beaten on the face-off dot if he took more than 16 shots. Here is the opponent's win percentages. Trevor Baptiste beat him twice with 52% and 55% in 2018 and 2024. Jay Thornbear beat him 54%. Jake Naso had the highest amount of face-off percentage with the victories won. What? But here's why I think that actually works in Jake Naso's. Not really. I don't know if it helps Jake Naso, but it also hurts him because despite that fact, Jake Withers dominates the face-off percentage over Trevor Baptiste. But yet Trevor Baptiste has beaten him twice. So this did not technically prove Jake Naso is a better face-off player, but for a rookie to go into that game and flat out just beat him, beat a guy who I did not think could be touched right now, and Jake Naso is not just a rookie. He's got, I believe, the 7th most face-off wins in college lacrosse history. Like, what? So, yeah, he's got a little bit of street cred to his name. And obviously, I've got a little bit of bias towards him because he came on this show and I met him in person. But this guy did put the league on notice, and I think that's a big deal. I will also say this. Trevor Baptiste, who beat Jake Withers twice, gets to be broadcasted by one Cooper Perkins on every San Diego game that's in San Diego. So we're going to talk to Cooper Perkins when we come back. All things San Diego Seals. They're 2-1. They're riding high. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DustPods or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It is my pleasure to bring on the man as cool as San Diego itself. Cooper Perkins is here. How have you been, sir?
I've been good, Mike. How have you been, buddy?
I've been great, and you got yourself an awesome microphone, so I'm kind of jealous right now.
Yeah, all kinds of projects requiring new equipment. So you just got to get yourself one of them. Not too big of an expenditure. Little you never know. Santa might bring you something.
Yeah, the Shure I've heard are great things, and you do sound amazing. Almost as good as you sound on those ESPN Plus broadcasts, man. Those things are nice.
Thank you.
You and Nick do a great job. Those that don't know, he is the voice behind the Seals. A lot of late thrillers. You guys always get to broadcast the fun ones for some reason. But I got to ask you, first of all, Seals are 2-1 to start the season. What's the vibe check right now in San Diego?
Vibes are high. Vibes are high. I think the team has developed a lot of chemistry very quickly. I know he's talking to the coaching staff. They've been, I think, pleasantly surprised by how quickly that's happened. And, they're an overtime goal away from being 3-0. So I don't think that there's a whole lot to be upset about. The defense was, not at its best the first couple of weeks of the season. They're still trying to get some pieces back and also incorporate some young guys like Zach Deacon and Matt Wright. So those things take some time, but ultimately, I think that the vibes are high and that it's a really good collection of guys. And, really notable difference is just how clearly defined the roles are on offense. That's something that I know Jordan Hall really wanted to establish given the system that they want to run. And I think it's noticeable, not to take away anything from Dane Dobie and Curtis Dixon, because those two guys are tremendous.
Right.
And we've seen that the first couple of weeks of the season, but there just seems to be a really good fit of all the pieces right now in San Diego. And I think the ceiling's really high.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you talk about that defense. I mean, it's weird because you guys have Kyle Rubish, Zach Correa contributes as well. I think it's Danny Logan's another one, but it's almost like a Wrigley has not even been at his peak yet, and that's what's scary for me about San Diego. What have you seen from Wrigley the first few weeks? Because I love the guy, but hasn't been as sharp maybe as we thought he would be early.
Yeah, no, make no mistake about it. First 2 weeks, he was not very good.
Right.
Week 1 against Philadelphia, I think you could say was one of the worst games he's had as a starter. But I thought that this last week against Colorado was a really good kind of illustration of maybe what to expect. They never ask him to make a lot of saves. Like, you have to really keep that in mind when you're analyzing and evaluating the goaltenders in San Diego. They're not going to ask him to make 45 saves or 50 saves. For him, the sweet spot's somewhere between like 33 and 37. And they're going to ask him to make some tough saves and make some clutch saves, which is exactly what he did against Colorado this past weekend. But I think he's only going to get better. There's one thing that's important that people probably don't understand because they don't know him at all, but he's extraordinarily confident. And I think that that's something that is really important and often elusive in goaltenders, that extreme level of confidence. So I can't imagine that there's any scenario in which he doesn't end the season as one of the the better goaltenders in the league statistically. Right. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if he makes good on my prediction through Inside Lacrosse and wins the goalie of the year or not. I think that there's a lot of good competition there, but I think that any concerns surrounding him are transitory and not particularly significant. I wouldn't worry about it. And if you're, a fan that doesn't like San Diego and is rooting against the Seals, I have bad news for you. There's not a goalie problem in San Diego.
Agreed. I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised how well Mike Pooling played. I feel like I haven't seen that guy in a while, and he did well in relief, like you said, in week 1. And I agree, the Colorado game, he locked it down late in that game. So I got to ask you, because I predicted that Wesley Berg would go crazy this year, and I know it's only been 3 weeks, but like Ryan Benesh and Rob Hilliard, who I do love a lot, have really, it's like a big three almost. Add Zach Curry, who's doing amazing things. How awesome has it been to see the new guys contribute almost automatically?
Yeah, no, I think that kind of alludes to what I said just at the top here a moment ago, that the chemistry level has really exceeded expectations. I think with Wesley, he's going to have his big nights, but I think not needing him to have big nights is a very encouraging thing. He still had 4 goals and 6 points against Colorado, right? So like, he's going to have his nights, he's going to have his moments. I don't know if he's going to have another 110-point season, but if they don't need him to do that, then what does it matter? I think that ultimately the biggest thing is going to be their ability to stay healthy and their ability to stay out of the penalty box and play either 5-on-5 or be on the power play themselves. We've seen through 3 weeks that their power play is absolutely lethal. They have threats at every spot, and those guys are really, really good. And I think the other piece that I would add to that is Kyle Jackson. He made his season debut this past weekend against Colorado, had 3 goals and an assist. And what he brings to the table is something that was missing the first 2 weeks, simply from an experience standpoint. He and Adam Noakes, who's a rookie, have a lot of similarities and crossover in terms of their skill sets and what they bring. Kyle's just a more refined finished product. Adam's still, a young guy who's a work in progress with a really high ceiling. But I think that extra dynamic on the left side, and I think admittedly their left side has been a little bit thin the first few weeks. So seeing Kyle Jackson insert himself into the lineup in that way, I think was really encouraging, for what's going to come from San Diego. But the new guys are just great. Ben McIntosh is a delight. Ryan Benesh is just such a fun guy. And Rob Hellier's, a really great, kind guy as well. And the three of them just understand exactly what their roles are and are the perfect fits for those roles. There's no cumbersome, awkward pairings in terms of, well, we want these guys together, but this guy's a ball carrier and that guy's also a ball carrier. Everyone just fits into their places perfectly. And I think it's a good example of there being different methods for roster construction. And sometimes an influx of superstar talent across the floor doesn't always add up to cohesiveness. Yeah. And, I think that the Kevin Crowley experiment a couple of years ago really illustrated that well. And now we're seeing kind of the flip side of that, not to say that these guys aren't exceptional players, right? They're all veteran max players, but there is a different, I think, expectation individually from a guy like Rob Hellier than there is from Curtis Dixon or from Kevin Crowley or Dane Doby, where he looks a lot more like his most productive self back in the Toronto days of 2016 than he did as, the lead dog in Las Vegas the last couple of years. And that's just as simple as, coaches understanding what they have and knowing how to put those players in the best places to succeed.
It's only one ball. I mean, it's like there's one lacrosse ball at one time on the floor. So it is what it is. I got to ask you, not to report on anything here, but we know that Trevor Baptiste was on the PUP list, and then he came back, went 16 of 16, and then got hurt. I haven't seen anything. Have you seen anything about how he's doing and if he's even going to play this weekend?
Yeah, no, all I know is that Trevor wanted to come back into the game and the medical training staff did not allow that. They were very cautious. I don't know what the significance is. Injuries are very complicated. Sometimes guys feel perfectly healthy and it turns out they have a significant injury. Sometimes you feel, like things are terrible and it's just a twisted ankle. So it's really a really wide spectrum to draw from. All I know is that as of last week, Trevor's spirits were high. I have no update on that, and I have no official word from the team. It's just a lower body thing that kind of happened in a non-contact situation. With obviously that's scary, right? Non-contact stuff is always cause for concern, but there's no substantive reports here to share other than Trevor's a warrior, and if he is able and allowed to play, he certainly will.
I also love this emo night promo he did with trying to do the all-time low. That was pretty funny. Those who haven't seen it on social media, that's pretty good. All right, I got to talk to you. You guys have another home game. So is this another Cooper Perkins broadcast against Georgia?
Yeah. Myself and Nick Acella will be there. It'll be a fun one, and we'll see what direction the game leads. There are a lot of different possibilities.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is your expectations for that game? It's already a rematch. I was about to say, I remember the Brett Dobson, Christopher Gary thing. How are we feeling with the rematch of those two guys, and how are we feeling about the game?
I think that there is a real prove-it opportunity for Georgia, more so than for San Diego. Simply because, the Swarm have won 2 games by 1 goal each. They've yet to leave their home, their home barn. And San Diego has been a really difficult team for road teams to win in during the regular season. San Diego's won 17 of the last 20 home games during the regular season, dating back 3 years. So I feel like if Georgia can come in and steal a game there and make that statement, be 3-0, beat San Diego twice, including once at Pechanga Arena, I think that that's a really loud statement. I don't think that the same statement applies to the Seals. As long as they stay healthy, I think that they're going to be in position for a playoff spot, whether it's a 6th seed or a 2nd seed. I don't know. But I think that there are more questions about Georgia at the moment than there are about the Seals. So I think we'll learn a lot about both teams, but I think we'll learn more about the Swarm. I also don't think that we should be discounting them for, potentially losing to San Diego, right? Just because they might go to San Diego and not come out with a win doesn't mean they failed the test. It just means we've learned more about them. So, very early in the season, very hard to draw conclusions on these things, but I think it's going to be exciting. I think it'll probably be a little bit different of a game script than the first one. I have a hard time seeing the Seals score once in the last 31 minutes again. Brett Dobson's great, but I just don't see that happening. I think there's a real possibility that we get another overtime type game. I also think that there's a possibility that the game isn't all that close. I don't see a situation where it's like a 2-goal game all game and one team struggles to make a move. I don't see that happening. But they played last year in San Diego. That was an overtime game also. So the margin between these two teams the last 18 months or so is really, really narrow. And I think that makes for really compelling, exciting television. So fans should absolutely tune in and watch that one.
Yeah, stay up and watch it. Well, I know I will. I just wish they would have covered the two, but then they obviously blew the first one. But who cares? That's just my money, not yours. I do want to ask you before I let you go, Cooper. What are your latest endeavors? Anything to promote before we get you out of here?
Yeah, actually, we got a project via the NLL that's debuting pretty soon. Hopefully right after the new year. So that's very exciting. Can't quite divulge exactly what's going on, but maybe the upgraded new microphone should give you a little bit of an idea. But that'll be really fun. We're very excited about that. I think that's cool. So once the calendar turns into 2025, definitely get those antennas out and start paying attention, because some very cool, fun, different content, I think, is on the way. And it's something that doesn't really exist right now. So I think that there's a very exciting, fun opportunity for lacrosse fans to consume something a little bit different.
Cool. And also I want to mention the power rankings. I have the Seals at number 2, full disclosure tomorrow. But I know you have a Swarm, but that's whatever. We'll see.
I can't rank San Diego ahead of a team that beat them. It doesn't make sense.
That's true. Oh, gosh, now I'm thinking about it. Don't do that to me.
If there's anything that I've grown to detest about college football among all of the NIL and transfer portal things, it's the AP poll and the way that this team beat that team, but this team's still in front. It doesn't make any sense. So
that's true.
Do I think that San Diego may actually be better than Georgia? Perhaps, but their resume simply suggests the opposite. So it's just like what I wrote in the article about Calgary, right? They're 2-0. I think they're 5th in the power rankings. That doesn't necessarily mean that we think they're the 5th best team, but it means that right now they deserve to be in that 5 spot because they're undefeated, they're 2-0, and that kind of answers a lot of questions. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to stay that way, but there's a balance between projection and resume, and when it comes down to one team or the other, easy tiebreaker is Team A beat Team B.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. You do great work. Thank you again, Cooper. Send our love to Nick, and have fun this weekend. I know you guys will.
Appreciate it, Mike. Always will. Great being on, buddy. Hope you have a great rest of your week.
Yes, sir. Cooper Perkins, voice of the Seals. I cannot express how fun those broadcasts are between those two. They do a good job, and if you ever stay up late on the East Coast watching those, you're going to be in for and they make the game fun. So shout out to Cooper and Nick on those, and whoever the sideline reporter is this weekend. We'll be right back. Guess what? You guys like style, don't we? Like dressing up? Fresh Fits is next. Week 3, 9 teams have got winners this week. Ooh. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track. with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
What up, everybody? It's producer Joe, the baddest daddy in producing history, here to tell you all about the baddest, daddiest merch store. Go to the link tree in the bios of either our IG or Twitter, and from there you can access merch for the only Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show on the internet. I repeat, the only Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show on the internet. We got hoodies for when your girl comes over and wants to cuddle. Just don't let her take it when she leaves. How about a baddest daddy cap for when you lie about how much you hate Mike in this show, but you're still here? We've got beanies so you can do that in the cold too. Guys, what's going to happen when all these moms see you dropping your kid off at practice in this thing? Want to sip like a daddy and feel like a baddie? Check out that mug. 6-time NLL champ Johnny T and savior of my Buffalo sports childhood knows what I'm talking about. Guys, I'm really going to need you to start buying shit because I'm getting sick of doing Instacart. But yeah, go check it out so you can start repping and supporting the brand. Producer Daddy out.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A reminder here that we have got an audio-only podcast version of this show. Go to Spotify and search Daily Dive, or click the link in our social media bios. I wish I had a Shure microphone, but Cooper sounded great, I'm sure, in the car if you're driving and listening, so that's got to be awesome. Also, a reminder, when today's show ends and you're getting your tickets for the next National Lacrosse League game, head over to tickets.12onsports.com and buy your tickets for less. That's tickets.numbers12ozsports.com. You will not regret seeing things live, knowing you got your tickets for a great price. So we have another segment to do here. It is time for Fresh Fits. And I really encourage you guys to watch the YouTube version of this show because you'll see why Fresh Fits is so fun. But if you're on the podcast version, I'll try to describe these things as I can here. Okay, let's get into it. First one is going to be the Buffalo Bandits. It's the Hoga Nanaco. This picture is coming off the bus. He's got his gray beanie, which I feel like he wears a lot. I'm going to give that guy a baddest daddy beanie for sure. He's got his navy blue suit with the white shirt that's popping out of the suit for some reason. That's a big collar. I like these shoes. They look kind of fuzzy. Look like, when on Toy Story, the guy rubs Andy's boots and they come out this beautiful brown. I don't know why that cracked me up. Anyways, next up we got Taggart Clark of the Ottawa Black Bears. It's not because of the gray suit, even though the gray suit is nice, or the nice combed hair. Well, combed, whatever. It's the Santa Claus tie. Santa has a bag on his back on this red tie. Santa's wearing green for some reason, but that's a good tie. I like it. There was other players on the Black Bears that could have gotten it, but I feel like this man's tie was in the spirits of a holiday I don't even celebrate. Next, Kevin Crowley. And when Cooper Perkins mentioned Kevin Crowley, how this works, I wanted to bring this up. It's on my lacrosse ball signed by Kevin Crowley, courtesy of Adam Levy, after I won a segment of, what's it called? Preston's Picks last year. But, every time Kevin Crowley's brought up. Shout out to the Vancouver Warriors, by the way, for putting this gigantic watermark on this thing for Guaki Yerba Mate, whatever that is. Vancouver Warriors arrivals. I like the green scarf and the khaki winter coat. We've got some comments I got to show here before I get to Ryan Benesh. I keep forgetting them. El Capitan Picks says, thoughts on teams already playing rematches this early in the season before playing other teams once. He's talking about the Seals and the Swarm, obviously. I I like it because it creates a rivalry. Like you just played this team 2 weeks ago. Also, it's like the Bills got to play the Patriots, I think, twice in 3 weeks, coming up soon as well. And 12 on Sports says Mike is wearing a fresh fit technically. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. The Blue Splash version of the 12 on Sports logo, I highly recommend that shop. But let's get back into fresh fits. We are talking about Ryan Benesh. Everywhere this man goes, whether it's Halifax or San Diego, he's got a fresh fit on. Now, this was emo night, and the Seals only posted one fresh fit, but he did get it by default because he was posted. The shirt says, "I'm not mad at you," and then on the back it says, "I'm mad at my father." Where are you? I can't even sing. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks, but yeah. And if those are actual tattoos, that actually fits. So that's a really cool vibe. And of course, he's got the chain with the wallet. Give me a break. Ryan Benesh knew what he was doing. Next up, we got Damon Edwards from the Colorado Mammoth. Ankles. Oh, wait. Ooh. They shine so bright. But I'll give credit. Those things have grown on me. I will never wear that. Body type checks out, and so does my looks. But Damon Edwards actually won it because he was doing popping the ankles, and I liked it. Why? I'm weird. This is cool. So, the Albany Firewolves posted something called Bare Necessities. And it was like their walk-ins. And Andrew Kidd had this cute little anime-looking stuffy. Wow, that is going to haunt you in your nightmares if you're watching this. It's got like these gigantic red lips like from Monsters, Inc. when the guy gets like his mouth sucked. And that's what it looks like. And the lips are like, yeah. And then I really gave it to Andrew Kidd because of this. This sweatshirt he's wearing, this black sweatshirt, or black sweater, has a lot of stuff going on. It's got a unicorn flying in the stars with some Santa Claus holding what looks to be a green lightsaber thing with an awesome neon colored Saturn in the background. Like, I don't know what that is. I want it. It looks really cool. I don't know why I like that. Oh, and by the way, Michael Jordan would be proud because the Air Jordans on the feet touch that outfit up so nicely. Again, if you're watching this live, you see with a vision, this is a really cool outfit, though. This is one of my favorites I've seen since doing the fresh fits for a year and some change now. Shane Jackson, listen, I don't know what it is with Georgia Swarm. Oh, okay. He left the sound. Who is she? No, the body. I'm sorry. The body armor sticker. Anyways, every week so far in 2 weeks, the Swarm have done this. They've posted one player. So Shane Jackson, good for you. Yeah, cool. Ryan Barnable of the Saskatchewan Rush with a gorgeous red suit. I'm sorry for taking the picture where he looks like he's falling asleep or high or both, but we're going to live with it. Drew Hutchison for the Halifax Thunderbirds. This is a winner. And for those of you listening to audio, black dress shirts, black winter coats, and my favorite part of this, the black plaid pants. I'm not a fan of plaid pants. I'm a fan of them when they look this clean on an outfit. So that, good job for Drew Hutchison. I think he's a backup goalie for the Thunderbirds, but Thunderbirds always know how to dress, so that's good stuff. Wings Dogs was another one El Capitan Picks said. Chime in on the YouTube if you haven't already, but that's going to do it for this show. We appreciate you so much for tuning in. Per usual, as always, reminder, you are the bread, you are the butter, you are the what are those to my ankles. If you tuned in for the first time, please come again. For amazing guests like the ones before, today's guest, Cooper Perkins, and those to come, thank you for coming on this show, sharing your audience with us, giving us validity and relevance. For the baddest daddy in producing history, producer Joe, who is always working hard, I'm your host, Mike, saying have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow for Power Rankings, same time, Same place, 12 Ounce Sports. This has been Daily Dive.
Thanks for watching Daily Dive. See you next time.